How often should older adults be having sex? Is there some magical frequency that unlocks happiness, health, or a deeper connection? You may be shocked by what the research reveals. Stick around because at the end, I'm going to share a little-known fact that could completely change how you think about intimacy at this stage of life. Society has this tendency to write off the idea of older people enjoying an active sex life as if it's something we're meant to outgrow. But let me tell you this: intimacy doesn't have an expiration date. Recent studies are proving that maintaining sexual activity later in life offers powerful benefits for both the mind and the body. So, let's tackle the big question. How much sex is normal or healthy for older adults? Should you be engaging in it weekly, monthly, or only when the mood strikes? It's time to dive deep into the research, bust a few myths, and uncover the truth about how often older people should be having sex. First off, let's talk about why intimacy is so vital as we age. You've probably heard the myths: you're too old for sex, it's just not the same anymore. But here's the truth: the benefits of sex don't fade as we grow older. In fact, they can become even more significant. Let's start with the physical benefits. Regular sex can lower your risk of heart disease. Sounds surprising, doesn't it? Research has shown that sexual activity functions like exercise. It gets your heart pumping and promotes blood circulation. Now, I'm not saying it can replace a full workout at the gym, but keeping your cardiovascular system healthy through intimate activity counts toward your overall health. But that's not all. Sexual intimacy releases endorphins, the feel-good chemicals in your brain that help lower stress, reduce pain, and improve your mood. And let's not forget about sleep. Many older adults struggle with sleep, especially as we age. But a fulfilling sexual connection, or even the act of cuddling, releases oxytocin, which promotes relaxation and helps manage anxiety, a common cause of restless nights. The result? Better, more restful sleep, and a reduction in the tension that keeps you tossing and turning. But perhaps the most profound benefit lies in your mental health. As we get older, we face challenges like isolation, anxiety, and depression. Studies show that older adults who are sexually active often experience lower rates of depression and anxiety. There's something incredibly powerful about feeling desired, about having that intimate connection with a partner. It reminds us that we're still alive, vibrant, and relevant. And what about cognitive health? You've probably heard people say things like, "Sex is good for your mind." Well, turns out they were right. Studies suggest that sexual activity stimulates certain areas of the brain, helping to strengthen neural connections. This, in turn, may help ward off conditions like Alzheimer's and other forms of age-related cognitive decline. Think of it like giving your brain a workout, strengthening both cognitive and emotional clarity. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to stay updated with all the amazing content. Share it with your friends too. Let's grow this community together. Also, we've now got Super Chat, Super Stickers, and Super Thanks activated. So if you've been enjoying the content and want to see even more amazing, high-quality stories, here's your chance to join the inner circle. On the side, you can click that shiny join button up top and pick the level that works for you. Most importantly, your support will give me more time to create better, bolder, and brainier content for you. There is no pressure, but you'll officially be my favorite person if you join. Yes, I play favorites now. Thank you so much in advance for considering it. You're the real MVP. Now, let's talk about the emotional benefits. Physical closeness with a partner increases feelings of connection. This isn't just about romance. It's about knowing that someone sees you as special, that someone desires you. The emotional fulfillment from a fulfilling sexual relationship offers immense support, especially as life becomes more challenging with age. You don't just feel connected physically, you feel emotionally and spiritually in tune with your partner. Sex isn't just an act, it's an extension of trust and love for one another. Over time, this bond can evolve into a sense of emotional well-being and growth. It's not just about pleasure, it's about deepening your connection on every level. All right, now let's get to the heart of the matter. How much sex should I be having? I know you're probably hoping for a firm, concrete answer, right? Well, here's the reality. There isn't a one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to how often older adults should be having sex. What matters isn't the frequency, but the connection you share with your partner and how fulfilling the experience is for both of you. That said, let's dive into the research for some guidance. One key takeaway: studies, including those conducted by the National Library of Medicine, show a strong connection between regular sex and better overall health outcomes. For example, a study of adults aged 65 and older found that those who had sex once a week were more likely to report being happier and more satisfied with their overall lives, including their relationships. But here's the catch. It's not about the exact number of times you have sex per week. It's about the quality of the experience. While weekly sex seems to strike a happy balance, studies also show that couples who have sex less often still report high levels of emotional and physical satisfaction. This is key. There isn't a perfect number when it comes to intimacy. What matters most is what works for you and your partner. Some couples may find that monthly intimacy keeps their connection strong. Others may prefer more frequent touch and closeness, or even small, intimate moments of affection without necessarily having intercourse. And here's something fascinating. As people age, many report that sex becomes less about performance and more about emotional connection and sharing love. When the pressure of performing, something many of us felt when we were younger, is removed, sex can become something far deeper. This shift in mindset has been shown to increase relationship satisfaction and, for some couples, even lead to more frequent intimacy. Intimacy, after all, isn't just about ticking off a box on the calendar. It's about connecting and enjoying the moment together. Let's also consider health. Physical conditions like joint pain, fatigue, or low energy may make sex less frequent. But that doesn't mean it needs to stop altogether. In fact, moderate sexual activity can actually help combat these symptoms. It increases blood flow, improves flexibility, and over time, even boosts energy levels. If you're dealing with specific health conditions, talking to your doctor about sexual activity is crucial. Some conditions may need special accommodations, but that doesn't mean you have to abandon intimacy altogether. Sex can still happen. It just might need to be adjusted to suit your health and comfort. Let me remind you once again, no matter how often you're having sex, what's most important is that you enjoy it. At this stage in life, there's no need to measure up to other people's standards of normal. If you're happy with your sexual activity, whether it's once a week, once a month, or just whenever you and your partner feel connected, that's what truly matters. In the end, it's about feeling emotionally, mentally, and physically fulfilled with your partner, not about adhering to some societal expectation on frequency. The key here is that sex should remain a source of joy, connection, and health. As we've already discussed, it plays an essential role in both physical and emotional well-being. But let's face it, for many older adults, barriers can often get in the way. Health issues, feelings of self-consciousness, and lifestyle factors can all create challenges when it comes to maintaining intimacy. So, let's take a moment to break down these hurdles and talk about how we can overcome them. Health challenges and mobility issues are some of the most common obstacles older adults face. Conditions like arthritis, chronic pain, or simply less physical flexibility can make physical intimacy feel more difficult. But here's the good news. If you're facing these challenges, don't be discouraged. There are plenty of ways to work around them. Positioning becomes key in these situations. Experimenting with different positions that require less movement or provide more comfort is essential. For instance, side-by-side or sitting positions are often more manageable for those with mobility issues. Many people find that adding pillows for extra support or choosing angles that don't put a strain on their joints or muscles can help improve comfort, all without sacrificing intimacy. Don't feel like you have to power through positions that don't feel right for you. Instead, focus on discovering alternatives that still allow you to feel close and connected. There's no need to compromise on closeness just because you need to adapt to your body's needs. It's also worth mentioning that many people, especially women, experience vaginal dryness as they age, often due to hormonal changes or menopause. If you've noticed this affecting your sexual pleasure, don't shy away from exploring solutions. There are plenty of products available, such as lubricants and vaginal moisturizers, that can significantly improve comfort during sex. Don't hesitate to discuss these options with your partner. It's part of maintaining a healthy, open, and supportive relationship. Now, let's talk about mental and emotional barriers. In addition to physical hurdles, mental and emotional roadblocks can make it harder to feel connected. Aging sometimes brings changes in body image, self-esteem, and anxiety around intimacy. These feelings can lead to doubt, making you question whether you're still attractive or if you're satisfying your partner. It's important to understand that these thoughts are common and they can be worked through. Open communication with your partner is paramount in overcoming these barriers. Talk openly about your feelings. You may be surprised by how your partner feels about you. A partner who values and loves you is focused on the connection you share, not the flaws you believe you have. Many people report feeling more confident and connected during sex in later years precisely because both partners have learned to embrace vulnerability. There's something truly beautiful about the intimacy that comes from sharing your thoughts, fears, and desires. Sometimes, simply talking things through can alleviate anxiety, create emotional closeness, and make your intimate moments even more meaningful. But let's not forget about the external pressures that can also take a toll on intimacy. Many older adults deal with the stresses of caring for a partner or managing other responsibilities, which can leave little room for sexual connection. Depression and isolation are also very real challenges. If you're feeling mentally drained, it's natural that sex may not be at the top of your mind. Overcoming these feelings often requires a combination of internal work and external support. If you're experiencing persistent sadness, anxiety, or other psychological burdens, speaking with a therapist or counselor could be incredibly beneficial. Working through those emotions will allow you to enjoy intimacy more freely, without the weight of past stresses holding you back. Remember, you are worthy of pleasure, and you deserve connection no matter what stage of life you're in. Now, let's touch on something that's often overlooked: the powerful emotional side of intimacy. For older adults, sex isn't just about physical pleasure. It's also deeply tied to emotional connection. It's important to understand that intimacy, especially as we age, becomes much more than just physical pleasure. It becomes a profound expression of love, care, and connection with your partner. Emotional intimacy is a crucial element that cannot be underestimated, especially when considering its impact on our overall well-being. The effects on our self-esteem and sense of belonging can be incredibly profound. As we get older, many of us go through shifts in our relationships, whether due to life changes, health challenges, or simply the natural course of life. The need for physical closeness often deepens as we navigate these challenges. So, let's dive into what emotional intimacy does and how it enriches our lives. In your earlier years, sex might have been focused on passion, appearance, or excitement. But as we age, intimacy becomes more about emotional connection and trust. One of the most beautiful aspects of getting older is having a solid sense of who you are and feeling comfortable in your skin. At this point in life, the best intimacy revolves around trust, connection, and truly understanding one another mentally and emotionally. It's about knowing each other in a deeper, more meaningful way. This is when sexual intimacy transcends physical satisfaction and becomes an expression of the love and affection you share. You no longer worry about impressing anyone or performing to meet expectations. You're simply enjoying the company of someone you've chosen to share your life with. Many people find that sex in later years can be even deeper because it's rooted in moments of vulnerability and emotional closeness with someone you love. There's something incredibly special about knowing each other so intimately, not just physically, but emotionally and even spiritually. Even the smallest gestures, like holding hands, looking into your partner's eyes, or simply enjoying peaceful moments together before intimacy, can create powerful bonds that enrich your relationship and contribute to a more joyful and intimate experience. Love and vulnerability are intertwined in ways that make the experience uniquely fulfilling. It's also been shown that older adults who maintain a sex life report stronger emotional bonds with their partners. These couples often experience a greater sense of security and a more lasting relationship. This emotional connection doesn't just enhance their romantic lives, it contributes to their overall happiness and life satisfaction. Now, let's talk about something incredibly important: feeling desired. We all want to feel wanted, no matter our age. Physical intimacy may keep the spark alive, but it's the feeling of being desired, that affectionate touch, that reaffirms you are still valued. Studies show that couples in long-term relationships tend to form stronger bonds when intimacy and affection are nurtured regularly. Even if the frequency of sexual activity changes, moments of affection like kissing, cuddling, and gentle touches can significantly strengthen emotional closeness. These small acts of love convey deep feelings of being wanted and cared for, and that's what sustains emotional closeness well into older years. It's important to remember that intimacy doesn't have to look the same for everyone. Some older adults who no longer engage in traditional sexual activity still report incredibly fulfilling relationships by maintaining close, loving touch, and sharing romantic moments. What truly matters is maintaining that emotional connection, whether it's through sex, hugging, or simply spending time together. That connection is what feeds the heart, supports well-being, and promotes a healthy, active life. In other words, age is no barrier to what intimacy can bring to your life. It doesn't matter if it's frequent or infrequent. The emotional power of physical touch and love never fades. There are many ways to keep your connection alive, and no matter what stage of life you're in, you deserve to feel that closeness, pleasure, and emotional fulfillment. Embrace your intimacy in whatever form it takes. So here we are. We've explored how important it is to stay connected, how often to engage in intimacy, and how to work through challenges. But the most important message I want to leave with you today is this: embrace your intimacy in later years. Age should never diminish your ability to have meaningful, loving, and fulfilling sexual experiences. It's a time to redefine what intimacy means to you, reframe your expectations, and forget about any societal pressures to be youthful or as active as you were when you were younger. This is your time, your life, and you get to define your standards of intimacy. And that's something worth embracing. When you take the pressure off trying to perform like younger generations, you open the door to intimacy that feels more authentic and genuine. The beauty of this stage in life is that you're no longer concerned with comparison or perfection. You're focused on the authenticity and connection that enrich your relationship. It's about feeling joy, closeness, and warmth with your partner. This brings us to another crucial point. Never be afraid to communicate. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that you need to meet your partner's expectations when it comes to sex. But the truth is that honest, open communication only deepens intimacy. Talk openly with your partner about what feels good, what doesn't, or if there's anything new you'd like to try. Share how you're feeling physically and emotionally. When both partners are tuned into each other's needs, intimacy flows more naturally and with greater depth. As we get older, our bodies inevitably change, and so too does our relationship to intimacy. But those changes don't need to be feared. They're simply a new chapter. Some older adults say they've never had a better sex life than now, simply because they've reached a level of mutual understanding and comfort that fosters intimacy without self-judgment. Intimacy can become more fulfilling because it's no longer about impressing or rushing. It's about connection. Another key aspect of maintaining intimacy is caring for yourself both physically and mentally. Regular exercise and a balanced diet play an essential role in maintaining sexual health. Staying active helps improve flexibility and energy levels, which positively impacts your sex life. Along with eating nutritious foods, engaging in strength training or low-impact exercises like swimming or yoga can keep your body agile, helping you feel good physically, emotionally, and sexually. Additionally, mental wellness is just as important. Sex doesn't have to be frequent to be fulfilling. What matters is that it happens when it feels right, and that it's something you and your partner genuinely enjoy. Meditate, practice mindfulness, or engage in activities that help lower stress. The less stress you carry, the more open you'll be to intimacy, and the closer you'll feel to your partner. It's also essential to acknowledge and celebrate the changes that come with age. Instead of focusing on what's lost, find the power in acceptance and in recognizing your beauty at every stage of life. Embrace yourself as the wonderful, experienced person you are, and don't let anyone convince you that you're not deserving of a joyful, active sex life. Remember, our sexual energy and confidence evolve in new ways as we grow older, and it can be incredibly fulfilling, both emotionally and physically. The bottom line? Keep the spark alive, not because society says you should, but because you and your partner deserve it. Intimacy doesn't stop at a certain age. It evolves, deepens, and enriches your connection in ways that can bring even more satisfaction than ever before. Age should never limit our ability to feel loved and desired. Embrace who you are at this stage in your life and explore what intimacy means for you, right here, right now. Whether you have sex once a week, once a month, or simply enjoy moments of affection and closeness, what matters is that you stay engaged, connected, and filled with love and understanding. And most importantly, don't feel pressured by anyone. What's most important is that your intimacy feels meaningful, genuine, and fulfilling to both you and your partner. So, how often should older people be having sex? The answer isn't written in stone, but science and experience agree on this. Stay connected to your partner, communicate openly, and focus on what feels right for you. Intimacy is a gift, not a chore. Whether it's weekly, monthly, or simply whenever the moment feels right, the most important thing is to keep the flame alive in a way that works for you. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on intimacy as we age? Leave a comment below, like this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more candid, age-positive conversations like this. Also, make sure to sign up for the Wise Advice newsletter to get tips, advice, and uplifting content delivered straight to your inbox. Let's keep growing and glowing together.